Hello, this is Joe Martin, pastor at First Baptist in Toledo, Washington, and this is a cabin talk. It's getting to be a little bit more fallish out there, or autumn. I want to talk to you about this question. Are you a worrier? Are you a person that can tend to get anxious? Maybe you're more easily anxious than some other people. Anxiety is a real thing, and the effects that it has on your body, this is profound. I mean, a lot of you know this. You can't sleep. Maybe you do certain behaviors when you're nervous, like me. I like to eat carbs, or maybe you just can't get your mind to shut off. Some people struggle with panic attacks. When your anxiety gets activated for whatever the reason, your eyes dilate, your respiration increases, your blood pressure goes up. These are, they have a huge impact on you in many ways. And sometimes it takes quite a while to calm them back down. Now, the effect on your body, most of us can agree on that. We can say, yeah, that's true. But the effect on your soul is a whole nother matter. It's a real struggle. It's profound as well. And it'll show up in unexpected ways. Sometimes you'll feel really down. Sometimes you'll just feel like this weight on you. Psalm 42:5 says, "Why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become disturbed within me?" This is really the psalmist is saying, I'm disturbed. I'm anxious. I'm bothered. We are living in times when anxiety seems to be everywhere. The world is in an anxious time. The world is an anxious place, and it seems in this day and age to magnify these anxious thoughts. The Bible says in one place that three of the big challenges that we have are the world, the flesh, and the devil. Well, there's no question that the world system we live in is kind of fear-based, and it's always riling us up. The leaders and other people are always trying to motivate us out of fear. But the flesh is also a real thing. That innate kind of shadow side that we have, we are tempted by anxiety every day. And this brings us into, like I said, escapist type of behavior. Some people, the anxiety is so intense for them that they get a little bit, they drift off into abusing alcohol or abusing drugs of one variety or the other, both legal and illegal. There is the temptation to compromise. It's incredibly powerful. The FOMO, the fear of missing out. We're anxious about missing out on life. Or a lot of people I know have ruined their relationships because they were afraid they missed their youth, and so now they're going to try and go back and capture it. I'm sorry, you're not going to. If you're 35 or 40, you're not going to go back to 20. And if you're 60, you're definitely not going back to 30. And so we have the world to deal with, and then we have the flesh, which is tempting us. But then we also have the devil. And the devil will use his roaring to drive us with anxiety to hasty and reactive choices in life. It happens a lot. And these choices that you make will send your life crashing into chaos. It really will. As I said, they'll send you into the ditch. This is why First Peter says, and the connection here is very clear, casting all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. He really does care about you. But then he says in the very next verse 8, if you're not sober and on the alert, your adversary, the devil, prowls about like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Now, people have written down through time about the roaring lion was usually an older lion that may not have been as much of a threat, but his role in the pride was to roar and scare the prey into the hands of those that are, or the not the hands, but probably the mouths of those that would destroy them. A lot of times we do that. We get anxious and we start saying things and doing things and making choices, or stop doing things because we're anxious. And it's all fear. It's all fear based. Now this Sunday, you may find yourself already in the ditch of anxiety. Maybe you really struggle with it. And you may not even want to come to church and you may not have been coming to a gathering with other people because you're anxious about it. Maybe you're just anxious of being around people, or maybe you have had a bad church experience. You may have been hurt or let down, and maybe even in our church at some point, somebody's let you down and you don't want to be hurt again. And so anxiety keeps you stuck in the ditch. Your adversary, the devil, has you stuck in the ditch. Now I'm going to spend the entire day teaching and trying to help you understand anxiety as it's affecting you and get your feet on solid ground so you can pull yourself and others up out of that ditch. I'm going to try and give you some tools and some approaches, and this will be true not only in the 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock service, but also in the teaching time during the breakfast class. There's a breakfast at 9:30. So let me just really encourage you, come for that. And even if you don't feel like it, even if you're a little bit anxious, it could help you. Now, if you just can't, then just be sure to get as much as you can. But I really want to say to you that it's really important, unless you are like medically not able to gather with other people, it really will do something that you can't explain any other way. You can't find any other way. I just want to thank you. I want to encourage you to be there this Sunday. I also want to thank you, and I want to encourage you to give. And I appreciate so many of you that do give. I really want you to be faithful in that area and supportive. We're doing a lot of new things. We're trying to rebuild our kids' ministries in many ways and launch that. And those resources are really needed. And so if you want to give, now some of you have asked me about how do I give online? I want to set that up, just give automatically, or I want to give a one-time big gift, or not even a big gift, maybe a smaller one. You just go to our website and look for give. There'll be a menu there, and just follow that. It's really, really simple. I want to thank you for your faithfulness and watching this. And if this is helpful, or maybe you know somebody who's really anxious, they've kind of been stuck, they're kind of in the ditch. Maybe they've been wanting to go back to church, but they just feel stressed about it. They're afraid what somebody might think or say. Listen, we're going to work on that Sunday. I don't want you stuck in the ditch of anxiety. And I'm looking forward to seeing you then. God bless you.